ladies and gentlemen, if you could make your way over towards the entertainment area, we're going to have a special presentation here of the national anthem with the Joliet Police Color Guard. So if you can make your way over here to the front to kick things off, we're going to do that in 2 minutes. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? I think so. We got a beautiful night. Mother Nature blessed us with some incredible weather. Well, to start this evening off, we'd like to have everyone stand, please, if you are not. Gentlemen, kindly remove your caps, and let's welcome the Joliet Police Department Color Guard with the posting of the colors. Singing our national anthem from the city of Joliet, it's Alexis Ray Smith, who just last weekend starred in the production of Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, Alexis Ray Smith.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
One more round of applause, everybody, for Alexis and for the Joliet Police Color Guard. Next up, let's welcome the mayor of the city of Joliet, Mr. Bob Oderkirk, to officially kick off 2018 Racefan Rally. Mayor.
Thanks, Scott. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out. This is a great annual event in Joliet. For any out-of-towners who are here, I want to personally welcome you to our city. And for the Joliet residents, thanks again for coming out supporting this great event. Thank you to Richard Fredrickson, the City Center Partnership, for doing this every year. We got beautiful weather. We're going to have a great weekend of racing. It's a great night to kick it off.
Yeah, no doubt. Mayor, this is just one of many events that you host in downtown Joliet. It seems like every weekend somebody's wanting to have a festival, from Star Wars days to this event. I know there's several other planned. We had a rock event here. We have a Latin music festival coming up later on this year. This piece of property that we're standing on right now isn't going to look like this for much longer.
No, there's big plans to redevelop this, to turn it into like a city square. I think a lot of people couldn't envision it until the building came down, the old bank, old State's Attorney's building. It widened up the area. You could see the sight lines for the beautiful Rialto Theater, for the library. It's a great city center, and we've had a lot of success. Every summer event we have draws well, and that's the plan. We want to do something every weekend.
All right, and how does it feel to be the mayor of a town that has one of the world's greatest super speedways? I mean, we got a little track down on Route 53 that not too many other places have.
No, they do a terrific job. Scott Paddock and Ken Kors and the team down there. It's a great event every year. We had the race for the Cup the last couple of years. We moved it back to July this year. But they do an outstanding job. It's a great time, great weekend.
All right, who are you picking to win this weekend?
I'm not going to pick.
You're not going to pick? It's a politician in you right there. You won't pick. I'm joking. Mayor, thanks for coming by, buddy. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
Let's hear it for the mayor, Mayor Bob Odenkirk, here at the Racefan Rally in downtown Joliet. Yeah, their Dirty O's pretty nice, too. So's the drag strip.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you
All right, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to start the party. My name is Scott Slocum from WJOL Radio. Thanks to everybody for coming out tonight. No tornadoes tonight, right? Who lives in Manhattan? Who saw the tornado last night? It was an EF0, by the way, not to diminish it, but still, it was just an EF0. It's kind of scary. Oh, it's a 1. They raised it to a 1 now. All right. Mike Guglielmucci from, I don't know, you do like 8,000 things in this town. How do you want to be recognized this weekend?
Just a guy who's going to have a cold Bud Light and talk racing for the next, how long we got? Until 10 o'clock.
Track announcer.
Until Sunday night.
Track announcer at Chicagoland Speedway, hosts on WJMO Radio, Ken Woody Sports, works with the City Center Partnership for this event. Googs, here we go. Year number 18, my friend.
Wow, how about that? Hey, Slocum, book the Rialto.
Let's book it.
Yeah.
We started this event 18 years ago, and it's grown into one of the biggest pre-race festivals on the NASCAR circuit each and every year. Goose, kind of run down a little bit what we have coming up tonight, including our grand marshals tonight.
Yeah, we do. Bobby and Donnie Allison, the Alabama gang. 2 of the 3 of the Alabama gang is here tonight. They're going to be signing autographs over there by the blue tent, but they'll be up here with us at, I think like 8 o'clock-ish.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock,
7
okay.
o'clock.
And we're going to have to talk about the fight, right?
The fight. All right. Also, Ben Modridge coming up here a little bit. He's from Ronald McDonald's House Charities. They're the beneficiary of this year's event. Also, Camden Murphy drives one of those Camping World Truck Series races. We have all kinds of other racers as well, ARCA drivers. And, of course, we have fireworks coming up tonight. What time are those?
10 o'clock, right before 10. Right. We'll end it up at 10 o'clock with it's Stars and Stripes weekend at the Chicagoland Speedway. So there's going to be a little twist when the fireworks blow off.
And I think Scott Paddock will probably stick his head in here just a little bit
I
as
think
well.
so. Yeah, he said he was coming down like 5 o'clock or so. So we'll get the boss up here.
All right, there you go. All right, that's a lineup of what's happening. Make sure you get plenty of cold Bud Light. But throughout the night, we are very lucky this year to welcome a rising country singer. This gentleman can be seen at festivals and music venues throughout the Chicagoland area and beyond. Nick is here to support Ronald McDonald House Charities. Ladies and gentlemen, presented by Rendell's Towing and Recovery, let us welcome Mr. Nick Lynch. Let's hear it for him.
Yeah, whatever you know. Whoa, yeah. You wreck me, baby. Hey, you wreck me too. But you move me, honey. Oh, yes, you do. You wreck me, baby. Hey, you wreck me too. But you move me, honey. Oh, yes, you do. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Diana Missick. I'm here with Tom Ligeman from ARCA, and we're interviewing drivers at Racefan Rally, June 27th, 2018. If you're not here, you should be. And so we're going to be interviewing some drivers and telling you what it's all about. So take it away, Tom.
Okay, we have the Sod family here. We have Amanda Sod, who drives this truck in the NMRA series. Amanda, how many years have you been driving?
About 5.
Okay. What was your first driving experience like in drag racing?
Kind of nerve-wracking, I guess, but it's a total adrenaline rush. Like, I really like it.
What's been your best finish so far?
When I won the NMRA back in 2016 in April in Georgia.
And where do you want to aspire to? You want to get further up into the drag racing ranks?
Yeah, that would be awesome. Need some money for that, though.
We have daughter Mackenzie. Mackenzie drives the straight liner here in the junior series, junior drag series. Mackenzie, how many years have you been driving?
2 years.
And who's your favorite driver in the NHRA?
Brittany Force.
You want to grow up one day to be like Brittany Force and race against her?
Yes.
When you started, what was your first race like racing a junior dragster?
Nervous.
As nervous as this interview is right now?
Yes.
And we have Dad here, Dad, crew chiefs at all.
How you doing?
Great, great. Tell us about your experiences and how you got your family into drag racing here.
Well, I grew up with drag racing with my dad and my family, and then actually this was my dad's truck, and we purchased it through friends of the family, whatnot, and put my wife in it, and then obviously the daughters decided they wanted to do it, and here we are.
Racing is a family affair. Come on out to Joliet for the Racefan Rally. We'll see more cars and stars. We have local driver Scott Kerner from Joliet. Scott, where are you racing the stock car at?
We race at Grundy County Speedway on Friday nights and run some selected ARCA Midwest Tour races.
The ARCA Midwest Tour I'm very familiar with. How long have you been racing?
I've been racing off and on since 1992.
And what keeps you going in racing?
I've always been a race fan, always loved any type of racing, and once I was able to actually go get in the car and race myself, that's what I've been doing. So,
Grundy County, long history running there. I believe Dick Trickle may have run there, some other drivers over the years. How do you stack up against some of the heroes that ran?
Well, haven't had the opportunity to race against any of those guys. Rich Bickle makes an appearance down at the Grundy County Speedway, but there are quite a few good local race car drivers that do come through that area. There is a good lot of history. I think just a few years ago, Mark Martin's track record was broken, but there's been quite a few Cup drivers that have been through that raceway as well.
Sponsorship always very important. Who do you have on the car that supports you here out of Joliet?
Well, I have Advanced Powder Coating in Rockdale, Illinois. They did all the paintwork for the frame and the wheels that are on the car. Brandolino's Encore Music in Shorewood, Illinois. Got them as a sponsor on the hood. And we've got a bunch of various contingency stickers for the ARCA Midwest Tour. And those stickers were sent down from Mr. McCarnes with the Midwest Tour for the show this weekend. So,
fantastic. Very familiar with Greg. And your next race for the ARCA Midwest Tour is?
If everything goes good this Friday at Grundy, we're going to go to Rockford Speedway this weekend for the All-Star 100.
All right, and that's in Rockford, Illinois. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
We're here with Chris Rhodes with Rhodes Racing Promotions. Chris has a simulator out here tonight that the fans are enjoying. Chris, are you a racer yourself?
No, I actually just bring this out to the racetracks. We work at Fairbury and Farmer City mostly. Hopefully we're hoping to get up here to Joliet at some point.
I noticed that you have donations on here. How the donations been working tonight?
There's a couple in there. They actually go to a guy named Oscar Gorba who walks around the Fairbury track collecting. He raised about $12,000 last year for the MDA camps, so we donate everything to them.
$12,000, that's pretty good. Let's take a look at your simulator. Why don't you open the door and they can get a shot in there? Pretty well equipped. I noticed that you have seats here and foam so even the young kids can get in there. Who's had the best lap time so far tonight?
Jordan Missig. MISSIG, Jordan Missig.
I think we know Jordan's mother. She happens to be standing right here.
Well, that makes
so
it easy.
I think you had a ringer. I think you had a ringer in this thing here, but
Well, he turned a really good lap, so she needs to put him in a real race car. He is in a race car. Okay.
yes, and I think that's what mother's afraid of. And remember, all the kids out here, if they turn in a good lap, parents, you're going to have to put them in a real race car. Just understand that. All right. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Enjoy the night.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, we're here with Rocky Osick, who drives the Ford Mustang Mach 1 funny car. Rocky, this funny car was out of 1971. Give us a little bit of the history of this car.
Well, it was originally run as the Weapon, and then the same owners switched it to the Ghetto Rat. Frank Maroney, Tribula Brothers, and Tolson were the owners. I picked it up in, I think, 1987. I put a Corvette body on it for a while, and then that got messed up. It was on sawhorses outside, and the wind picked it up. And I took several years off, and then I got to run it again back in 2008. This is the original body and chassis combination. It had a big black Chevy, and it's pretty similar to what it was back then.
It's a beautiful looking car, great paint job on it. What keeps you in drag racing?
So, somebody asked me the other day if I'd ever get tired of it, and I said no. I just love it. I love the driving the car. I love the speed. I like putting the car together. I've done a whole bunch of modifications to this car, frame-wise, body-wise, to make it work, because it was very unstable when I first got it together. So I had to redo a lot of fiberglass work on the body. New front spoiler, I dropped the rocker panels 5 inches in the front, 9 inches in the back, the wing on the back, the holes in the back, because it was actually coming off the ground. Wow. About 140 miles an hour.
How many horsepower does this motor have?
I'm guessing about 1,400. I don't have a dyno. I never had it on a dyno, but
It's a little more than a Toyota, Nissan, or Subaru, or any of those, correct? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a nice ride. I really like it. We were out with it a week ago last Friday at Route 66 Raceway testing, and it was a little slippery out there, so I backpedaled it quite a bit, but it still ran a 749 at a 182.
That's an impressive time. It is today, and it would be an impressive time back in 1971.
It would have been about average of what they ran back then. And our best with it is 714 190.
That's a very good time, especially for a car back in 1971. Rocky, thank you for your time, and good luck on your next race.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have Gus Dean here with the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Gus is currently 6th in national points. Gus, you're returning to Chicagoland Speedway. Tell us about what you're looking forward to this weekend.
Oh, I love this track. It's a lot of fun. It's, for a mile and a half, it's really racy. It's got a little bit rough, but I grew up on rough racetracks. I think it's going to play into us. I'm really excited about tomorrow.
You started out this year a little bit slow, and the same thing happened last year, but you've caught momentum now. You have a series of 4 top 7s in a row. Your finishes have been coming down 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. Tell us about what you're looking for a finish this weekend.
I definitely think, every week we have a really fast race car, definitely something that's capable of winning. We've just run into some bad luck, especially at the beginning of the season, but we're starting to gain traction, like you said. Those MDM guys are going to be tough like they always are, but I think we definitely have a shot at the win tomorrow.
You drive for Kevin Sawinski. Kevin's out of Minnesota. He's a name well known through Illinois, Wisconsin, and Minnesota from the old ASA series. What kind of advice has Kevin given you throughout the year to help you improve driving?
Having Mr. Kevin on the radio with me is absolutely awesome. It's he's an experienced driver in almost every series. He's been to almost every track that we go to. And to have somebody that has been there and experienced exactly what you're going through and can be able to tell you how to work through some of the problems that you'll have, it is just a really huge help to me, especially getting over a learning curve when we haven't been to a particular track, either in a long time, like Chicagoland, we haven't been here since last year, or if I've never been there to start with.
Gree's your sponsor. Tell us a little about Gree, how they came on board to help you, and what they do.
Gree Cooling Products is the world's largest manufacturer of smaller air conditionings, like what we call mini splits, or similar to hotel units. And Baker Distributing, they're an air conditioning supply house. They both came on board. They helped us out last year or the year before last, for a few select races. We ended up winning Talladega in those few select races, and that led to a full-time deal last year and a full-time deal this year.
Well, that was a tremendous win in Talladega that you had. You finished second in rookie points last year. We're looking for big things out of you in Chicagoland Speedway tomorrow night. We have Max Tolman here. Max drives for Mason Mitchell Motorsports. Max, this is your first time to Chicagoland Speedway, correct?
Yeah, it's my first time. Really looking forward to it. Going to take it easy. I like the mile and a half so far we've gone on. We've gone on Charlotte. Probably one of my favorite tracks that we've driven this year. So looking to just be patient and learn a lot.
Chicagoland Speedway has a lot of history in the sense that it's been a different winner for all 17 races in the ARCA Racing Series. Do you think you could be the 18th different winner this weekend?
Yeah, it'd be awesome if we could be, get a win here for Mason Mitchell Motorsports guys. We've had a lot of success with them this year. I think we've proven ourselves we're fast, and we just had some bad luck here and there. So I think, get a top 5, that'd be nice. If we could pull off a win, that'd be even better.
First time here to Joliet, the city of Joliet. What do you think so far?
Yeah, the people are awesome out here. People are having a lot of fun. People are, from what I hear, are coming back actually from last year, which is always a plus. So
everyone's having a fun time here in Joliet. Come on out. Okay, we're here with Michael Self. Michael's the driver of the number 15 Sinclair Toyota for Venturini Motorsports. Michael hails from Park City, Utah, one of several West Coast drivers that we have in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Michael, you won Daytona this year. You ended the season last year with a win. You started the season this year with a win. You've had some strong starts and finishes. Tell us about what you're looking to do here at Chicagoland.
Pick up where I left off last year in September. I think it was, we had about a 3-second lead with 8 laps to go, and we blew a right front tire for probably what should have been my first series win. We just had a phenomenal Sinclair Oil Chevy that night. So, like I said, if we can just pick up where we left off then and do that in this number 15 Sinclair Oil Toyota, it'll be a great day. It's fun to come here. This is one of my favorite tracks. I've run here a handful of times at different things, and this place is just so unique. There's so much about it with how rough it is, the different lanes you can run. It makes it a lot of fun to come and race here. And I know it's one that I have circled on my calendar as one of the races that I look forward to more than anything. So hopefully use that to my advantage, and we just start off on a good note tomorrow.
Now, you've worked hard to bring the Sinclair sponsorship on board. They started with a couple of races last year. This year they came on with 10 races, and I know you're working hard for 2019 to bring them on for the full series. Tell us about Sinclair and what they do and how they support your racing.
Well, Sinclair is an incredible company. I mean, they were founded in 1916, so this year they're 102 years old, which that's a massive feat in its own right. I think a lot of people probably remember Sinclair when they were around in the 50s and in the 60s all over the country. I mean, a huge one of the top 11 largest national gas chains back then, and in the late 60s, I believe it was, they got bought up by Arco, and a lot of the East Coast stations got turned over, and then in the 70s, the Holding family bought Sinclair, the Sinclair subsidiary, back and started rebranding the Sinclair stations. So Sinclair is still very strong nationwide. They've got about 1,300 stations, mostly west of the Mississippi right now. They're making a big expansion back east, so folks can look for them as they start to expand, kind of from the northeast down. And the quality product that they bring is, one of the nation's oldest and one time one of the most reliable petroleum companies.
And a little trivia fact, Chicago native Bill Venturini, who's the car owner of Venturini Motorsports, he used to own a Sinclair gas station back in the day.
He did, yeah. He actually has the original title in his office at the race shop. So we were going through looking at all that stuff one day, and I think, to put it in perspective, I think he bought the station and the land for like $14,000. So keep that in perspective.
Wow,
You're
that's
not gonna find a gas station for that these days.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. One of the traditions that Bill Venturini has, similar to Andy Granatelli back in the day, is that he kisses the winner in victory lane, no matter who it is. Are you looking forward to your kiss tomorrow?
I got mine in Daytona. That's a one and done. I got mine, he got it in, and so we're done now. We're just going to try and go win and have a good congratulations in victory lane. Will suffice.
Michael Self, one of the drivers you'll probably see in victory lane tomorrow. With Will Rogers, Will drives the number 52 Dryden Ford for Ken Schrader Racing. Will, you're running a limited schedule this year, but you've had some impressive runs. Tell us about your season so far.
Yeah, we've had definitely some good runs this season. Really happy with the success that we've had. Obviously, we have had some downs too, but that's to come with a new season and me approaching these bigger tracks and faster racetracks, you know. But I learned a lot of lessons, really taken a lot from this season, and happy we're able to get starts at a place like Chicagoland. This is going to be huge for the development of my career, and happy to be doing it with Ken Schrader and the 52 Dryden Ford, and can't be more thrilled to keep that going.
What have you done to prepare for the Chicagoland race? Have you run any simulators, any things like that to give you preparation for the track?
I wish I could say I have. I don't actually have my iRacing system set up at home yet, but I have watched a lot of replays from past races and then some onboard video from like the Cup races just to figure out where the groove tends to go and what the air is kind of like managing that here. So that's kind of how I prepared. And other than that, I've got a few wins in my bag the last 2 weeks in the K&N Pro Series, so hopefully that momentum will translate over to the ARCA Series here.
Now, we've talked about, we have a slew of West Coast drivers. You're originally really from the West Coast in the sense of you were born in Hawaii.
Yep, as far west as you can go, I guess, for the U.S. Yeah, it's pretty cool coming from there. There aren't many other drivers who have come from Hawaii. Actually, I think I might be the only one, at least in the ARCA Racing Series. So it's pretty neat to be kind of categorized there and have a little bit of differentiation. But it's great to see a lot of West Coast support coming out to this race. There are always really good guys coming from the West Coast, being Sheldon Creed and Michael Self, Zane Smith, guys like that. They always contend for wins, and that's really neat to see.
You're also one of the NASCAR Next drivers. Looking at the future of NASCAR and the drivers and the stars coming up, you just came from Sonoma from the K&N race. Tell us about that.
It was a pretty incredible weekend. Actually, I'll start off by saying the weekend before we were at New Jersey Motorsports Park, and we secured another win there, and we had great momentum going into Sonoma. Anybody that knows me knows that Sonoma was the one race I really wanted to win, and we finally got to beat 5 Cup drivers and take home the trophy. So it was a pretty incredible weekend. I could say it was a pretty grueling weekend too. It was very hot out there. So hopefully this weekend will be a little bit better when it comes to the weather. But it was one to never forget for sure. And it's, you know, a lot of confidence building for me to come to Chicagoland this weekend.
Last year, just to note, Will finished second to NASCAR Cup star Kevin Harvick at Sonoma. He beat all the NASCAR regulars this past weekend. Will, we'll look forward to a great run from you and Ken Schrader Racing.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Here with Ben Morgridge, who's the Director of Corporate Partnerships for the Ronald McDonald House Charities in Chicagoland and Indiana areas. Ben, what brought you out to the Joliet Racefan Rally tonight?
Sure. Well, we were introduced to this opportunity from our friends over at Rendell's, and they put us in touch with Richard and the group putting this on, and thought it would be a great opportunity to come down and be part of the community and raise some funds for the Ronald McDonald House.
You get a lot of support in the racing community. It is a family sport. Do you see the parallels between the family sport of racing and the charities that are donated here?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, we serve families from all over the world in all walks of life, and really through Camden Murphy, one of the NASCAR drivers here, getting involved with the house, we've found that we have a ton of NASCAR fans utilizing our houses, utilizing our services, and so to be part of this is just a way for the NASCAR community to help support other families in the NASCAR world that utilize our services.
Cam, you're going to make your NASCAR Camping World Truck Series debut this weekend, correct?
I'm not, actually. I'm not. No, this is going to be my 4th year in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, but this is my 2nd time at Chicagoland Speed, my hometown racetrack.
Okay, is this your first time here at the Racefan Rally?
This is. Absolutely, yeah, this is my first time at the Racefan Rally. The first time I actually heard about it. I'm surprised, but it's so awesome. Ton of NASCAR fans out here. I'm so excited about it.
What are some of the things that you look to achieve at Chicagoland Speedway on Friday night?
Really just completing all the laps. That's our biggest goal at Chicagoland Speedway. You know, this is my hometown race, so it means a whole lot to me. To be able to complete all the laps and get to the checkered flag will mean so much.
And tell us about your racing career. What got you started into racing?
Yeah, so I actually started racing when I was about 10 years old in mini cup cars. We actually have a mini cup out here tonight. I started racing those, and basically it's really had a lot of success, and very fortunate to have a lot of success, and climbed up the ranks and driven just about anything there is, and made my first NASCAR start in 2014 at Martinsville Speedway, and just basically trying to work my way through it. But I've been trying to carry the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana all the way through it this whole entire time. I donated my time to them since Christmas morning 2012, so I've been trying to carry them this whole entire journey.
And how did you find out about the Ronald McDonald House Charities and get started with them originally?
Actually, one of my neighbors, John DeCages, a franchisee of McDonald's, I was looking for just a charity to get involved with, a charity that I can be a part of and how that I can help. And he mentioned the Ronald McDonald House because obviously he was a part of it, being a franchisee. And Mr. DeCages helped me out, put me in contact with the Leary House, and they're downtown Chicago, and here we are.
Well, these two gentlemen are looking to raise donations for the Ronald McDonald House Charities. We're happy they're out here doing it. Wish them continued success. Good luck on Friday night, Camden.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, we're here at the Joliet 2018 Racefan Rally with two racing legends, Bobby Allison and Donnie Allison. I'm going to start with Bobby first. Bobby, is this your first time to the Racefan Rally?
No, I've been here before. It's been a really good deal in the past, and I've got to enjoy a few of them.
Bobby, you raced for a lot of years. It's great that you still come out and support this series. One of the memories I have is I remember both you and Donnie running in the Indy 500. Tell us about that.
Well, really, we were busy with the stock cars, but Penske and Foyt both were paying attention to what we were doing, and Foyt got Donnie to drive his car, and Penske got me to come drive his car. And, we both went pretty fast. Donnie finished really good both times. I unfortunately had hard luck with my deal with Penske. The car failed on me twice, but I led the lap at Indy and led the lap at Pocono and led the lap at Michigan with Indy cars, so at least I had a little bit of effort.
And I remember we used to see you run at the road course at Riverside. Very versatile driver. You've driven just about everything in racing besides stock cars. I'm not sure if many people know that.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed the road courses and the different kinds of tracks with the stock cars. I had a good fortune in a lot of places, and I was real pleased with how things went.
Both of these gentlemen are members of the Alabama gang. They're one of the ones that started it, each of them. Donnie, you ran a lot of different races. You had some wins. Everybody remembers you for that Daytona 500 where you and Cale Yarborough came together.
Yeah, that's the one I should have won, but I didn't. That really is what put NASCAR racing on the map, so to speak. And, it's pretty bad to be just remembered for a wreck. I did win 10 Cup races. But, I mean, that's the way it goes. It was just fortunate for France that the day turned out like it did.
Well, I know that every time that you buckled into a car, you were a contender. And you did win those 10 races, and you won a lot of short track races as well.
I sure did. See, I never ran for a full season with the Cup cars. At most races, I ran only 240 races in my career. But I did run lots of short track races. I won a lot of short track races. I went to Indy twice. I finished 4th the first year and 6th the second year, so I did pretty good. I went to Pocono. I went to Milwaukee. I went to Ontario with the Champ cars and also finished. So I can't complain. I would have liked to have seen what would happen if I'd have been in a really good car and a good team to run for the championship. I probably would have won it. But, I mean, I didn't. And I'm not sorry that I didn't, but anyway, that's just life, I guess.
Well, these two drivers are two of our heroes in racing and NASCAR, two of the legends and icons of the sport. We really thank them for coming out to the Joliet Racefan Rally, and we'll look forward to you two coming back for many years to come.
Mighty fine. We'll be back for sure.
Yes, sir. I sure will be back. Thank you for everybody that came out tonight.
Thank you both. Enjoy the night. I'm here with Lauren Lass, who is the event coordinator for the 2018 Racefan Rally in Joliet. Lauren, you're a native of this city. Tell us about what it takes to put this rally together.
Oh, it takes a lot of coordination between everybody, the police, the city of Joliet, all of our great committee members. A lot of them have been doing it for like 18 years now, so it's like clockwork these days, right?
Exactly. When do you start working on the 2019? Do you start working on it tomorrow?
Probably in about 2 weeks. You know, we have a lot of events all summer, so we have like we have an art event coming up next month. We have Kids Fest in August, so we have a lot of events all summer. So the winter is really our big planning time.
Gotcha. And how many different vendors do you have for this event?
I think we have about 35 maybe, so it's bigger than I think in the last few years, which is great.
You have a wonderful turnout here, and it's worked. What did you do as far as getting the word out to the community and other areas to bring this rally?
Yeah, well, we talk to people. We go out to talk to the radio stations. We do a lot of interviews. We do a lot of Facebook advertising. But at this point, people know when the races are coming, you come down here on Wednesday night. So.
Well, they all appear to be having a good time. Congratulations to you for putting together another great event, and we'll look forward to 2019 with Lauren Loss putting it together. I'm here with Kyle Nato, who's the assistant track manager for the Auto Club at Joliet. Kyle, we have go-karts here, we have sports cars here. Tell us about the diversity of your country club and what you race there.
Autobahn is a country club designed around motorsports enthusiasts. So members can come out, they can bring their sports cars, their open wheel cars out to our 3.5 mile racetrack 6 days a week, 7 months out of the year, and drive the 4th longest track in North America. We have a go-kart right here. This kart here is designed for about a 7-year-old, and we have our entire karting series. There's 11 race series with this kart at our track. The kart track is actually 6/10 of a mile long, 30 feet wide, and members can also bring their karts out, run around 5 days a week out at the kart track. We also have a vintage car that we also do vintage racing as well, and there's an entire race schedule for that you can see on our website, which is autobahncc.com.
So we know that one of your youngest drivers is 7 years of age. What's the oldest driver you have out there? What age?
Let's see. I don't know if he'd like me to disclose his age, but he's well into his 50s and getting close to his 60s. And he's out there driving these karts. These will do about anywhere between 50 and 60 miles an hour at that age. So.
And he's not racing against a 7-year-old, is he, on that?
No, he's racing against other people in his age groups. But actually, we go down as low as 6 years old. That's how we get started. So a lot of these NASCAR drivers or Formula One drivers, they actually start out their racing careers here in karts.
Well, the Autobahn Country Club, they start with some of the youngest drivers in the series. You may see a future star in IndyCar, NASCAR, or even Formula One coming out of the Autobahn.
Thank you very much. We appreciate having you out here.
Appreciate your time, Kyle. Okay, I have 3 of the 4 Venturini Motorsports drivers here racing tomorrow night at Chicagoland Speedway. I have Tony Breidinger, I have Natalie Decker, and I have Leilani Munter. I'm going to start with Leilani here. Leilani drives the number 20 Vegan Strong Toyota. Leilani, you expanded your schedule. This is your first time at Chicagoland, isn't it?
I have actually been here once in the Indy Pro Series cars all the way back in 2007, so a long time ago, and those cars are so different from the stock car. And then I came back one other time in the ARCA Series back in 2014. I finished 12th, and we had a pretty good run, so I hope to improve on that and get it into the top 10 or the top 5.
Well, 3rd time at Chicagoland Speedway, maybe 3rd time the charm. Tell us about your Impossible Burgers.
Yes, they have been, I cannot keep them on the table because they've been flying off the shelf. We've given away almost 24,000 now. Our goal is to make it to 30,000 by the end of the weekend. It's a 100% plant-based burger, so 0 cholesterol, has all the flavor and texture of meat. I think a lot of meat eaters are surprised when they take a bite because they think when I say the word vegan, it's going to taste like cardboard, and then it tastes exactly like a regular burger. So it's been a really good hit, and I hope you guys, if you're at the racetrack this weekend, please stop by. We'll be serving the Impossible Burger every day up until the races start.
And you'll be serving them in Champions Park?
Yes, we will be out there. It's a big green tent. It says Vegan Strong on it. It's got a big vegan flag hanging from the top of it, flying from the top, so you can't miss us.
Look for Leilani in Champions Park after the race Thursday night. Natalie, this is your first full season, your 2nd season in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. You achieved sponsorship this year from N29. You're 6th in championship points. Tell us about your season so far.
So far the season's been going really good. It started off good at Daytona. We got the pole and ended up 5th. And then we've had a lot of bad luck. So I hope the luck keeps turning around. We had a good run at Madison and then bad luck again at Gateway. But I'm hoping here at Chicago it turns around. It's me my first time racing here at Chicago. I was here last year doing autographs and stuff, but I didn't get to race. So I'm excited to be here and get to race with my teammates, my 2 girl teammates and Michael.
I think Michael's feeling left out in this crowd a little bit, but that's another story.
Fourth teammate over here, Michael. He won Daytona.
Not once. You finished 6th at Madison. You're from Eagle River, Wisconsin. Chicagoland's not that far away from Wisconsin as well. Do you have a lot of friends and family coming down and fans?
Yeah, I do have a lot of family. I hope a lot of my fans come out. It's not too far, so I hope they all come out and watch, and I can't wait to see everyone at the track tomorrow.
Have you done any racing on a simulator for Chicagoland? What have you done to prepare for this race?
I haven't done any simulator time or any racing on a sim, but I did study a lot of film and been like talking with other drivers like Michael, my teammate, and he's been here before, so just getting as much knowledge as I can to be prepared for tomorrow.
Natalie's marched up in the points this year. She is our pole sitter from Daytona. She is running 6th in points. I have Tony Breininger here from California. She reigns from Hillsborough, California. She'll be making her 3rd start, your very first super speedway start. Tell us about what you're looking for.
I'm just looking for a really smooth, solid race. I just want to get more seat time in these cars, and I'm really excited to go on my first really big track.
You started at Madison, the half-mile track. You finished 10th there, and that was your goal. Gateway, you ran the entire race. Tell us about how that went last week.
I think Gateway went really well. I finished 12th at that race, so I didn't finish as well as I did at Madison, but I feel like I personally drove a lot better. My pit stops were better, my restarts were better, and I just feel like overall I improved and I got more comfortable with the car. So I'm really happy with how Gateway went.
Besides running the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards, you're running the USAC Silver Crown Series this year. You've also been running the USAC Western States Midgets. Tell us about your midget career coming up into ARCA and also your Silver Crown.
Yeah, so I ran midgets for about 4 years before making my transition into ARCA. I haven't done much midget racing this year. I did about, I think, 1 race. But I am going to be racing the USAC Silver Crown car the day after Chicago. So that'll be interesting. That'll be at Madison. So it'll be a much smaller track and a very different car. So it's going to be kind of cool to transition into the USAC Silver Crown car right after.
And you finished a couple of years ago 2nd in USAC Western points, as I believe, and you also have about 14 wins.
Yes, I finished 2nd last year. I missed some races, so we missed the championship that year. But the year before that, I did get the championship on the pavement side. But yeah, I think I have 14 wins now. So yeah.
Venturini Motorsports, a Chicago tradition. They have a long tradition with females. They had the first all-female pit crew going over the wall when Big Bill Venturini ran the car, the 25 car. This weekend we have 3 female drivers. All of them are competitive. Look for them to finish real well tomorrow night.
Thank you.
We're here at the Racefan Rally for 2018. In addition to race cars, we also have some classic cars. This car right here is a 1966, 1965 Chevelle. And Rick Arabasage, you built this.
My friend Ken Beckert from Tinley Park built it in 1993.
How long have you had this car?
About 11 years.
And what brings you out to show these cars and be on the road and run them around?
Racing. Everybody loves racing, but everybody loves classic cars, and we like to just come out, sit around, and talk.
1965 Chevelle, that's a unique color. What do you have under the hood with this?
That is the original 283, and it's only got 54,000 miles on it.
Wow, this car is beautiful. Only 54,000 miles on it. That's fantastic. You're with the Rusty Nuts Car Club. There's many more of you. How many more cars do you have here today?
All of these. These are all Rusty Nuts. Them there, and there's all the Rusty Nut guys.
And how long has the club been in existence?
About a year. About a year, yeah, about 1 year.
Fantastic. Well, you've all done a tremendous job. The car is beautiful. Love the leather interior on it. Showroom quality. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm here with Don Dickinson, and he's the city councilman for the city of Joliet. Don, what's this important event do for this city?
Well, this is a great event. We look forward to NASCAR coming every year. It's
the streets get crowded during the week for Racefan Rally, and then everybody's excited for the concert out at the track. Randy Hauser's out there, and you know, every year it just seems the race grows more and more.
As far as the economic impact, what do you think the value of bringing all these people in is to the city?
It's just huge. I mean, it's hard to get a hotel room this weekend all around the area. All our restaurants are full. You know, Harrah's right down the street here. Harrah's is booked. Hollywood's booked. It's, you know, it's such a great event. It helps our whole economy.
We talked about you. You're going to be coming out to the race on Sunday. Okay, who's your favorite driver?
My favorite driver was Junior, but he's gone. So right now, I just enjoy watching the race. I like Junior and I like Danica, and they're both gone. So,
well, we'll have to find you a new favorite for this weekend.
My old one was Sterling Marlin, so he's gone too. Yeah.
Sterling still races, by the way, at Nashville Speedway here and there.
Oh, does he? Yes. Nice. Yeah.
Yes, he's still around. We have beautiful classic cars as well here. A lot of participation from the community and the city here. What's that do for you as well?
Well, it's always great whenever we have anything that brings out the whole community. I mean, there's something here for everybody. You know, we have these jump arounds for the little kids. We have fantastic food trucks. Everybody's out here looking at these nice cars. And then at 8:20 we have Strung Out coming. And Strung Out's one of the area's best local bands.
There you have a real local feel here. We have classic cars, we have race cars, we have families out here. Come out and enjoy the 2019 next year Racefan Rally in Joliet, and here we are at the 2018.
This is Max Tolman, driver of the number 78 Your Pal Chevrolet from Mason Mitchell Motorsports, here with Tom Legerman. Tom, how did you get started in your long career here?
You know, I just turned 60, so it's been a really long career. I started in go-karts when I was 11, and then worked up from there, drove a little bit of stock cars. My brother drove stock cars and sprint cars, and I got the duties of working on the cars and racing myself. So that's what got me started in the sport, and it's just expanded from there.
What's your biggest highlight of your career so far, you think?
The biggest highlight, I discovered a young driver by the name of Sarah Fisher. She was running sprint cars in midgets at the time, and I went to Derek Walker and proposed to him, hey, why don't we try Sarah Fisher in an Indy car? He told me I had two heads and there was no way, but I brought her in for an interview. He grasped the idea, loved it. We were able to get Kroger as a sponsor and get Procter & Gamble as another sponsor, 8 brands with them. The program turned out to be a 2001 Advertising Age Top 100 advertising and marketing campaign. We had a really good year that year, both on the track and off the track.
That's exciting. What do you think we're going to see this weekend action-wise from all these ARCA drivers?
Great racing. The thing that I'm impressed with is young drivers just like you coming up through this series. In another 5 years, you're going to see guys like you and gals in the NASCAR upper ranks. It's wide open competition, 2 wide, 3 wide. Last weekend at Gateway, they were 3 wide all the way around the track. With this package, with the cars and the engines, it's pretty even. It comes down to driver and crew chief. And if you got the skills, you're going to run well.
Are you excited for 3 females to be starting the first time all together in the series?
I think it's fantastic. I think anybody that has the bravado to go run a race car, they're welcome. And all 3 have improved in what they're doing. I think Natalie, you may see a win out of her out of one of the short tracks, and who knows, wherever. We've been close. We've never had a female winner in the series. Maybe this is the year that's all broken.
All right, I'm Max Tolman. This is Tom. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're here with Jesse Owuchi, driver of the BPMC Mortgage car this weekend. He'll be driving the number 9 car for Tommy Prater and Max Force Racing. Jesse, this will be your 6th race of the season. Tell us about your ARCA Racing Series presented by Menard season so far.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool racing in the ARCA Series, just getting the opportunity to race on these big tracks like Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte, Pocono, Michigan, and now Chicagoland Speedway. It's always been a dream of mine to get on these big tracks. You see the Cup drivers driving on these tracks every weekend. You come to the races, you see them run, and to be in the pits and see these guys and girls do their thing, and then all of a sudden now I'm the same person like driving out of the pit, you know, out of the garage into the pits onto the track. It's cool and it's a fun experience. So looking forward to racing at Chicagoland Speedway. Looking forward to the Stars and Stripes weekend. And just looking forward to really having a good time.
You've done a lot of promotions for Chicagoland Speedway this weekend. Talk about some of the things that you've been doing for them to help promote the race.
Yeah, so this weekend is the Stars and Stripes weekend, so Chicagoland is really working on promoting a lot of military initiatives and promoting our military and honoring our troops. Our service members have done a lot for this country to ensure that we can have a free weekend like we do this weekend to enjoy a racing weekend. And Chicagoland Speedway this whole weekend, you'll just see a huge military theme. So I'll be out there, I'll be helping tour troops around, different service members. We'll be honoring a fallen service member on my race car for the ARCA Series race tomorrow, the Shop 150. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. It should be fun, and I'm glad that Chicagoland Speedway and all the speedways that are doing things for the military, I'm glad that they recognize our efforts.
We know that you have a connection with the military, not only as a serviceman, but also as a defenseman. Tell us about your days in the Navy.
Yeah, so I'm in the Navy right now. I was active duty from 2010 through last year. Now I'm in the reserves. I went to Naval Academy 2006 through 2010, played college football there, had a good time, and now I'm an officer in the Navy. So I've served 4 years on the ships and then 2.5 years on shore duty, and now I'm on shore again in Ventura, California, enjoying it and enjoying serving. So it's funny because here in a couple weekends I got to go do my weekend duty and have fun with that. So yeah.
Tell us about some of the challenges of mixing your weekend duty with being here your weekend duty, racing.
Yeah, so I pretty much got to wear like 2 different shoes. I wear my boots and I wear my race shoes. So sometimes it can be tough. It's definitely a time balance. It's a time commitment thing. But my command has been very, very supportive. They've allowed me to do all the different things I've been able to do. And also, too, having a great sponsor like BBMC Mortgage and their support for the military has been also instrumental in this whole journey.
Talk to us a little more about your sponsorship with BBMC Mortgage, how that came about and how they've backed you for your 6 races.
Yeah, so the sports agency with Matt Casto, he's the one who's able to put that deal together. He just knew that with BBMC and their morals and their values and how much they support the military, he knew it was going to be a good fit for me with my military background. So it's been great so far. We've been able to get a lot of different leads, sell some mortgages, and really just kind of promote their company and get them out in a place that they've never been. They've never been in the racing space before, and now they are. They're getting to see these patriotic fans that come to the racetrack every single weekend, and I think they're reaping the benefits of it, and it's been pretty good so far.
Well, they're a sponsorship that sees a connection between racing and between you, the military, and all that you do, and to help sell mortgages, but also to come out to a fun fan-friendly fan fest as we have here. We appreciate all you do, your military service. We have a defenseman, a midshipman, and a race car driver right here in Jesse Owuchi, one of the bright young stars of the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. We're here with Ryan Finley. Ryan is a local racer from Shabana, Illinois. He drives both in the Illini Midget Series, and he also drives at Grundy Speedway in a late model. Ryan, what got you started in racing?
Started racing go-karts back in 1988. And we just kept moving up the ranks from there and won a national championship in '94 with the go-karts in the Manufacturers Cup Series. So, yeah, and now we're running midgets and late models.
Midgets are a little bit of a transformation from what you were running in the stock cars. What got you started into midgets?
Just the open wheel thing with the go-karts, a little bit more weight ratio combination with it, with the cars and that. The midgets weigh about 1,100 pounds compared to the 3,000-pound late model, so they're pretty quick.
And the differences in driving them, what are the differences between driving the stock car and the midget?
The midget, you got to be real smooth. Late model, you do have to be smooth also, but it's more quick reacting with the midget than the late model.
And how's your career gone so far? Wins?
We've done pretty decent with wins. Probably had 10 feature wins or so. Just keep plugging along here.
Well, Ryan's a driver that started in go-karts. He's worked his way up to stock cars and midgets. You're going to see him at the local tracks for years to come. Just another driver and crew to come out here and see at the Joliet Fan Fest.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Diana Missick, who is a volunteer with the Racefan Rally Committee. Diana, how many years has this Racefan Rally been in existence?
Well, this is our 17th year. We started out in 2001. We got our first race, and it's grown and grown and grown year after year. I actually was on the committee for the first 2 years when it started, and then just got off the committee, had other things going on. Our son was small at the time, so took care of that at home. And then just recently, like the last 3 years, they asked me to get back on the committee and to do some things and get drivers and things like that. And year by year by year, it's been more successful and more successful, and a testament to this year, because now we've got like 8 ARCA drivers and the Allisons, and a bigger crowd than I think we've ever seen.
Tremendous crowd out here tonight, beautiful night. We know that there's a lot of coordination that takes place, not only between the committee, but the city, the organizations, ARCA for instance, NASCAR, to get the drivers out, all the people here. Talk about the planning and what it takes, what your year is like planning this.
Well, we start, we maybe should start sooner if we're going to be doing this next year with this type of a crowd. But we usually start about 6 months out, and it is a tremendous thing, tremendous challenge to coordinate drivers, because as you probably know, they don't know what their commitments are going to be. And they don't want to make a commitment until the last minute because they don't know what's going on, and they don't want to disappoint anybody, which is, great. We appreciate that. But it's hard to get the bands and get their commitments, and you just don't know. There's a lot of networking that goes on. There's a lot of people that are responsible. Some people are responsible for the bands, some people are responsible for garbage detail and how many trash bags are we going to have, and it's just setup and breakdown, and it's crazy.
Tell us, over the years, what's the funniest thing that you've ever had happen here during the Racefan Rally?
Well, when the car couldn't start and they couldn't get it out. We've had some mostly good things that have happened, but there's been some crazy things that have gone on like that.
Well, you've done a tremendous job. You have a great amount of vendors out here, race car drivers. We have a great, tremendous diversity of race cars out here between classic cars, racing cars for the local tracks, NASCAR cars, ARCA cars, and also sports cars from the Autobahn. You've done a great job putting this together. You think you got one more year in you next year?
Well, we'll see. We try to get as many vehicles here, different kinds of cars like you just mentioned, so that we can appease every type of car enthusiast. And, bands, of course, a lot of people come to see the cars, a lot of people come to see the drivers, a lot of people come to hear the bands. So we try to do it so that, we've got a lot of things for people to do, activities for kids and things like that. We've got the jumpy thing. I do know that I heard that next year we have to have funnel cakes.
No funnel cakes this year, but next year I'm sure they'll be on the menu. Come out next year for the Racefan Rally. You'll see it has a little bit of something for everybody. You'll see a lot of different things, a lot of different cars. Great family night. You can't beat the price. Come on out and enjoy.
Yes, we have cars, carts, and cold ones, so come on out next year.
There you have it. Okay, I'm here with Earl Barbin. Earl is spotter for Jimmy Johnson, 7-time NASCAR champion. Earl has been in the sport for a number of years. Earl, how many years have you been in the sport?
I started in 1988 with Penske, building all the show cars, souvenir trailers, things like that, and going to Cup Garage at the end of 90. Worked for Penske there, was truck driver, research development mechanic, gas man, 5 years of that. Then I started jacking the car, I was jack man for 5 years. Spotting started in 2000. So mechanic on the car the whole time until Rusty retired, and started spotting in 2000, and spotted till 05 when he retired, and then moved over to Jimmy Johnson. Went 2 years to Robert Yates, and then back to Jimmy Johnson.
You spotted for not only Jimmy Johnson, but you did spot for Rusty. Tell us about your years with Rusty, spotting for him.
Man, it's just a lot of fun. Two hugely passionate individuals about racing, and just very, very competitive in both of their own right there. So it was a lot of fun. I was getting into racing when I was with Rusty, and driving the truck and jacking and gassing and spotting. So you're starting your career, and really exciting. And then moving into a little bit more of a you get older, and you spot for Jimmy Johnson, and so it's a lot of difference, but just more my age is a difference.
You've had a lot of experience in the sport, but tell us about some of the funniest things you've seen occur at the track or even off the track.
Well, I think the funniest story, I guess, you could tell the most on yourself. I was driving the truck to Watkins Glen one year, and made a wrong turn, ran over the bridge, and knocked the roof off the trailer. So, you know, you got to tell on yourself. So that wasn't very funny. It's funny now talking about it, but at the time, you know, that was definitely embarrassing. But one time I was a truck driver and I went to Daytona for a test and forgot all the wheels and tires. So we had to jack the car up and take the wheels off the car, then take them down to Goodyear and get tires put on, and then bring them back. And you obviously know how frustrating I'm sure our driver and crew chief were at the time for that one.
But they still kept you around. You've done a great job. This is what, your 30th year in the sport?
Yeah, something like that. 30 starting in '88, and now we're in 18, so we're close to 30 years, and it's been exciting. I still get, you know, race day is still the best day of the year. I mean, the best day of the week. You know, being up there, being able to contribute. You know, we're up there spotting, so we're supposed to be there for safety, and then, you know, hopefully that you know, with maybe I can give them some kind of competitive advantage. You know, letting him know where other cars are doing and things like that.
7 championships your driver has. He's in pursuit of the elusive 8. Give us some thoughts about that.
Well, I think that would be fantastic. You know, I mean, I guess there's 2 things to think about that. For one, you know, I'm selfish side, and for his sake, I'd love for him to get that. I mean, that's a milestone. I mean, you would have never, ever thought that 7 would have been caught by Dale Earnhardt. You would have never thought in today's era that Jimmy Johnson would have got to 7. You know, and sometimes, you know, I'm on the other side, you know, maybe a bittersweet, you know. I mean, he's up there with some phenomenal companies. So you can't take anything away from what he's done so far. It's fabulous in this era. You know, 80-something wins, 7 championships in today. You know, it's not like, you know, not taking anything away from anybody else, but there was a time when we used to race 150 races a year, and, you know, some guys would, you know, had so much more money. So with such a competitive field, I thought that was what Jimmy Johnson did was amazing.
How many more years does Earl Barbin have in the sport?
Well, I guess until Jimmy Johnson doesn't want to drive any longer, or he doesn't want to tolerate, he doesn't want me whispering in his ear on Sundays any longer. That's probably, I'd say that would where it would end.
Well, this is Earl Barbin. He's one of the true competitors to the sport of NASCAR. Been with Jimmy Johnson a lot of years. Been with other drivers like Rusty Wallace. Familiar face in the garage area, and up on the top of the tower, Earl Barbin.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me. This ought to be great tonight.
It's going to be. It's going to be. I think you and I are up next, so we'll see what happens.